All right, guys, let's get started here. Um, really good performance. Fun game to be part of. I just want to start off by saying, if our guys continue to practice the way they practice this week, this coaching staff will do anything for this group of guys, and we'll continue to show up and keep teaching. That was the best week of practice that I can remember in a while. I'm talking about enthusiasm, detailed, understood the challenge. That's a good football team over there that's going to score a lot of points this year. Number one, number two, 8. They'll get 28 back. They've got some guys that cause some problems for you, and just us forcing the turnovers, the takeaways on defense is what we kind of asked those guys to do this week. I thought that was what created and cultivated momentum. And then what complementary football out of the offense. I think 3 turnovers, 21 points. And then we keep talking about the middle 8. That was a big deal. Getting that turnover or that takeaway and then going down and then scoring coming out of halftime. Just really excited about this football team and the way they work and the way they play together. A lot of guys are playing good football. Shout out to Father Meyer and his tailgating crew. He provides us great food. With that, we'll open it up for some questions.
Broken tackles in that first half, but your defense got that takeaway. How big of a momentum shift was that for your Cobra defense?
It's everything. It's humongous. I mean, we got to look at the tape. The tackling thing is okay. It's an issue. That's 6'3", 225 pounds. It's the same problem people have tackling Cole. That's not that easy. In some of those situations, right? Run past conflict. This guy's pouring down on you. I didn't think we did a great job of finishing in the backfield. We were lunging and leaping at some tackles rather than, don't reach, run, get your hips, get your chest on things to finish. But what phenomenal pursuit. Unbelievable ball out breaks today. They caught a few balls in there that were open and boom, Donovan Wong tackle. Boom, big hit, right? Like we played good defense today and we got to look at the tape so we can detail it out. But defensive football against all that exotic stuff, when you get the amount of takeaways that we have, that's good defense. Forget the yards. They got us the ball back 3 times on offense today, and that was remarkable. Grant Olson and those guys did a good job. The challenge with them with formations and empty, quarterback run game out of empty, the tempo, pretty good job on defense. I want those guys to be really excited and celebrate tonight.
Did it feel like momentum flipped on the sideline like it did in the stadium? When you got the turnover and then you hit Bryce for the big pass, it seemed like the whole game just flipped at that moment.
Well, I think if we were in those shoes and that happened to us, that we'd have to be in there, right? Trying to get the guys going, like it will be okay. Everything will be all right. So I think you're probably hitting right on it, Mike. I think that's challenging for teams. They were down to about the 20, right? They're going in to score and they turn it over and we just boom in 50 seconds score a touchdown. That's hard to overcome. And you got to have a really resilient team. And I thought that we captivated an opportunity there. Then to come out in the second half, do it again. It's probably where the game swung quite a bit.
It was almost the same first half as last week where it seemed like they were on the field for 22 minutes and they ran, I think, 42 plays to your 20, and then you had the lead at halftime.
Yeah, I think prior to the 2-minute drive, actually, it was 42-15. And they don't turn it over, so that's probably 45 or 46 to 15. And we're sitting there going, okay, we're 1 of 4 on third down. Guys, we got to stay on the field. We got to value our offensive trips, and we got to find a way to get off the field. That ain't a bad comparison. I think it's pretty similar. It was a heck of a football game, in the first half there. But your ability to jump on and to be opportunistic and jump on opportunities is really critical in this game. It's still a game played by 18, 19-year-olds, in some cases 22 and 23-year-olds. Those are big momentum swings for young people to handle, and it takes real grit to be able to come out of that on the other side.
Speaking a little bit, I know he's talked about DJ a little bit, but he's a different animal, man. He's tough to bring down. He can move.
Yeah. A lot of respect for their system. I mean, the combination of the quarterback run game, the RPOs, the mix of empty formation and how they stretch you out. And then they got this, really good football player that's a hell of an athlete. I mean, in space, it's a problem. He's going to have a big year. At the end of the day, it's all about, wins and losses, but they're going to be a tough out on offense. I have a lot of respect for that kid. We hit him quite a bit today. In that first half, he got some balls out. We were putting him on the ground. We were hitting him in the run game. I just thought defensive line-wise, the defense put it down this week as the key to victory was team pursuit. And I thought that showed up. I thought we played really hard. A couple of those balls could have came out for bigger plays, and we shut them down, and we talked about that a lot. Limiting – don't make a bad play worse. Get it tackled.
You guys limited Davis, number 2, to really the one big play. Can you just speak to the effort on him, especially Donovan covering him in the slot there?
Well, yeah, they created a matchup one time where we got stuck with Nathaniel on him and empty, and I was like almost going to call a timeout. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at the tape to see if we were doing anything specifically to take number 2 away, or did he just have a lack of opportunity? He's a really good player as well, and he's explosive in the slot. They dialed a couple things up. They threw the deep ball. Didn't he draw the penalty on the one? I mean, those are positive plays in the first half. I think he dialed he's the one that was on the receiving end of the PI call. So I'll have to look at the tape to look at that or to have a better answer.
Faster this year, or how much faster is he?
Well, he's bigger, stronger, faster for sure. And I don't think he's done. I mean, that's probably if I was a scout, that would be the number one thing I'd be most excited about Bryce Lance. In the recruiting process, I had nothing to do with it. But I was there and I recruited a young man to Iowa who's now with the Steelers. That kid was 6'4", 231 at the time. Now he's 350 playing nose tackle for the Steelers. Bryce was like a little bit further behind physical development than that kid. Bryce Lance's future is really bright because he's going to get bigger, stronger, and faster. I really look forward to continuing to be around him right now. But as he gets his chances in February and March for the combine and for the workouts, I think he'll be stronger, jump higher, be faster at that point as well.
How fast is Cole? Because he was in front of him on that play. He was blocking down the field.
Those guys, we don't have the miles per hour in the dome because we don't have the technology set up for it. But they're pretty close. Cole can really run for how big he is, and he just it looks like the same stride all the time. But I was really impressed with Bryce's ability to track that ball down. That was the first time Cole really, really put it out there, and Bryce had to go get it. Bryce is a better football player today than he was. Those who stay will reach their full potential and get unbelievable opportunities at the next level.
Coach, another game where Cole is just efficient, running the ball as well. What can you say about his play that's just been dominant on both sides?
Well, his grittiness right now is up there. He's willing us at times, right? And then, like you guys saw, they were playing big cover 2, and he just pulls it down. And I'm just shaking my head on the sideline like, well, this is fun. I mean, dial up a pass, and then he gets to run around and circles the defense, and he's really good. Our running game wasn't good enough today. I don't care about what the stats say. I care about our ability to dictate the terms and how we want to run it with 1 or 2 or 3 concepts. I thought the backs had some good individual efforts, but we need to be more consistent up front.
Tim, the 3 ranked opponents you've played, you outscored them 129-46. To tell you about your football team trending in the right direction right now.
Well, the leadership's good on the team. This morning, we talk. I do a talk. I had about 8 guys that are on the leadership council that aren't captains talk about what their group needed to get done and what they would guarantee to the team that would get done. And I thought all of them did a great job. They're the ones that inspired the team today. It wasn't me. And if we continue to practice, it's not fun. You guys, I wouldn't write the story either. But our deal at North Dakota State is that we pride ourselves in how we practice and how we go to work in the weight room and how we go about our daily activities and embracing the process. That leads to whatever numbers that you just read off. Unbelievable practice and attention to detail. And then somewhere in there, right, our hat's got to go off to the assistant coaches. They're the ones that are on the boots are on the ground coaching football, coming up with these plans, and they're doing a hell of a job of teaching. And this football team's getting better. I think we can improve still.
High school kids have big plays today. Reese, another good catch, and then Oliver Luck with the interception.
Dan's got to play Reese more. Let's just call him out. Let's just call. He runs the tight end room. He calls the plays. He needs maybe some encouragement to get. No, but how about that, Reese? I think 5 of his 6 or 6 of his 7 catches have been over 30 yards, and that was interesting. Those guys were talking about that adjustment. They were bracketing Bryce to the boundary and playing a little bit of a unique or exotic coverage to the field. And I just thought with their Mike linebacker being out that we could get number 3 down the pipe at some point and Dan called it up in the right situation, and Reese Kessel comes down with it. I love that family, and that kid just continues to work and get better.
Injuries, Diggins went out.
Diggins, God, I don't like doing this stuff because of family, but the football team will rally behind Finn. It's likely that his season, or at least, a pretty substantial chunk of it. I got to get more information on. There's potentially a broken bone in there, is what we're thinking right now, and so Tuesday I'll have an update for you. But we're thinking about Finn and his family. It's hard when you're a fifth-year senior, and you get if it is a season-ending injury, we'll rally and we'll get some responsibilities to him so he can feel part of the team because he's a big part of it. Yeah, Carson has a little bit of a foot calf thing. I think he'll be okay for sure in 2 weeks. We'll see about this next week. And there was one more guy that went down today. Oh, no, Darius.
The rule is he has to up at first half next year, or next week, I mean. We can turn it in. We can appeal, ask him to take another look. That came from the replay booth. It wasn't the officials on the field didn't throw a flag. You know what? It's unfortunate, but we've done a really good job cleaning the game up as far as how we're teaching. And it was interesting how Darius reacted, which tells me that he is all in on this football team and his teammates. He was really disappointed in himself. And I just said, Darius, you're out there playing hard. Things happen. And so we'll look at it and we'll turn it in. And
Was that what your conversation was after?
yeah, it was. And I'll just keep what I said between him and I. Darius, good kid, man. He's growing on me a lot. And like I said, the work he did at FCC and the amount of emails and the calls and the texts. Stephen Linkstead's up in the audience right now, and he called me one day and said, Coach, this is an unbelievable kid. And those kind of calls, right? Like the Citadel thing, those kind of calls, the president appreciating us helping with move-in day. Man, I hope the community continues to come out and support these guys. They deserve it. We got some really good kids.
You got that fumble recovery. How much of a momentum shift did you guys feel on the sidelines with that one?
It was a huge momentum shift. They were driving, and Keenan came up with a big punch out there. So it was huge for us, huge for our defense.
Bryce, talk about the first play of the game. You think that caught him off guard in any way, shape, or form?
Oh, maybe, yeah, for sure. I think we had some really good blocks on the perimeter. Gave me an opportunity to, see open space and cut up field. It's nice when your quarterback will get in there and block for you as well, and I saw that in open space. But, yeah, it was just a good play all around.
Cole, can you speak to, after that first fumble, operating the 2-minute drill, just your comfort in operating more tempo situations like that and getting Bryce the ball?
Yeah, I mean, the 2-minute drill is something we work on every week, and we really hammered it home during fall camp, and we have for the last couple of years, and so that's a huge emphasis for us. And then just winning the middle eight, so the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half, we take pride in that. And then Bryce just doing his thing and running by people and making catches. So that's what went down.
Jaxon, during that halftime, what was said in the locker room to get you guys fired up because missed tackles there in the first half?
Yeah, I mean, when you play an offense like that with how much speed they have, you're never going to not have a missed tackle. But obviously, I think to where our standard was, we had way too many in that first half, and we can all agree with that. But I think in the locker room, it was just like, hey, let's just keep complimentary football going. We pride ourselves in playing the middle eight and winning the middle eight. And obviously having that fumble there with a minute left, letting offense go do their thing. Like, hey, we know that the offense is going to go score again in the second half when that starts, and now we just got to do our job. So, just got to trust our keys, go back to our fundamentals, trust your eyes, and go play fast.
Jaxon, scoring after halftime. That means you guys scored twice with DJ Williams touching the ball. How big of a deal was that?
Yeah, I mean, that was honestly a huge play, and obviously props to Keenan and Toby with that. But I mean, it turned from a tie ball game to a 14-point swing with 11 minutes to go now in the third quarter. So I think for us, it's always a big thing, and turnovers in any football game is a big thing. But for us, obviously turning the ball over and putting it back in Cole and Bryce's and Big O's hands, that we trust them out there. They can go do their job, and let's just keep them out there.
How is it to defend DJ Jaxon? He's a huge kid. They're doing all kinds of different stuff going on and everything else.
Yeah, I remember the missed tackle I had in the first quarter against him. I mean, the kid's 220, and it's 100% true. He's a big kid. He's a fast kid. Reminds me of this kid over here, honestly. I mean, he he is exactly what he is. He can throw the ball well, but obviously when it comes down to it, is you just have to keep him contained. We knew that they were going to have design quarterback runs. We knew that can, just cause some issues in the back end with some fits. But obviously, I think we had a really good game plan going. We just had to trust our principles. We had to go back to our fundamentals. Obviously, the missed tackles will always hurt us in that end, but I think obviously our scheme actually worked out in the end.
Cole, how much faster is the guy to your left from even last year?
I mean, he's a freak show. Yeah, he's so fast. Yeah.
It's a little since you want to get bigger and stronger in the offseason, obviously.
Yeah. Well, I mean, props to obviously how hard Bryce Lance works day in and day out, but then Coach Knapp and Coach Kramer getting us right in the weight room and all the work we put in the offseason in the weight room and on the field. And so.
Well, have you ever seen old highlights of Christian Watson when he was playing for NDSU and doing some of the things they did with him? And did today remind you of that with him?
Oh yeah. Yep. There's some similarities there. So yeah, Christian's obviously a baller and Bryce is right there with him. So.
Bryce, on that run, when you saw Cole running out in front of you, what's that mean that your quarterback's willing to get out there and block for you?
Yeah, obviously not surprising for Cole. I think that just is a testament to not only his football skills but his character as well. He'll do whatever it takes for this team, whether that's during practice or during the game, off the field stuff as well. So he's the true definition of a leader, and there's no one else I'd rather play with as a quarterback.
Who's faster? You or Cole?
Bryce.
No, I don't know. It depends.
I'll
on the
race
day.
him though.
Depends on
Bryce
the day.
is faster.
Depends on the day.
Which run was better, Bryce? Yours or his snaking?
Oh,
45?
Cole's what? Yeah, I was playing the game. Yeah, Cole's for sure.
I was kind of surprised. I thought Bryce's was going to get clip of the game, honestly.
No.
But it was big for us. We had to start fast. Last week we didn't start the fastest on offense, and so that was a huge play for us.
Tell me, but this defense, last year it took a little bit to get going. But right now, you guys are playing pretty well. What can you say about the growth that you've seen out of this group?
Yeah, just we had a lot of seniors graduate, but we have a lot of guys stepping up this year. So just props to those seniors that graduated. They left the mark, and they taught us before they left. And then we have the best coaches in the country, and so just leaning on our coaches and leaning on what we saw the guys before us do, and just having some growth.
Jackson, it was a weird first half again this week because they were on. I think in the first half, they had the ball for 20-some minutes again, like Illinois State did. And I think they ran 42 plays or some crazy thing. Did it feel odd out there again? And then you had the lead at halftime, as it turned out. So.
Yeah, I think that's obviously going to probably be a thing that we'll have to look at for the rest of the season. Of even last week, they were a tempo team, and then they came out and then they started huddling. Obviously, that was kind of their game plan, is they want to keep the guys on the end of the table off the field as long as they can. But so obviously, it's for us. We just have to be able to start fast and get those guys opportunities and continue to stress more 3-and-outs, more third down stops, and from there, it's just playing our game. I think, again, to last week is I don't think that our defense really, started fast either. And obviously, again, with how this game kind of started it's just a different feel when you're out there for a long period of time. But at the same thing, you think back to what Coach Knapp does, what Coach Kramer does for us is it doesn't matter if we play 40 plays or it doesn't matter if we play 120 plays. We're going to go out there and we're going to go play our butts off. And obviously, I feel like we're made for that.
Jaxon, how do you feel playing a team of this caliber offensively prepares you for some of the other high-powered offenses you're going to face the rest of the year?
Honestly, I think the past 2 weeks have been a really good test for the team overall. You see very different offenses from Indiana State compared to what SIU does. Just with how much quarterback run scheme there was this week and how emphasized that was for them in their game plan. But then Indiana State with a lot more RPO style, and not to say that these guys didn't either, but it shows that we have to game plan week to week and that we can trust our keys and trust our fits. But obviously, it's just a huge test for our team overall. Hey, not every game is going to be a blowout. There's no 21-point play that we're going to have. You have to go out there. You have to continue to chip away. You have to take it one snap at a time. You have to take it one drive at a time. And at the end of the game, as long as you have more points than the other team, that's what matters.